Hello and welcome to the channel. In this video we are going over one of my personal favorite frames, Kullervo. I have had some folks asking about my Kullervo build, so I thought it would be a good idea to make a little build video on it. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, or commenting. Also, you can find me live at twitch.tv/MikeHobbs Tuesday through Saturday. Without further ado, let's get started. This build has carried me through so much content that it has been by far my most used frame and build. Whether it's Steel Path Conjunction Survivals or stuff like Metrocells, this Kullervo build almost trivializes endgame content. We will begin with a brief overview of Kullervo's passive and abilities. We can see that this is a melee focused frame, as his passive gives a boost to both heavy attack efficiency and wind up speed for all melee weapons, and his abilities complement this melee based playstyle as well. His one is Wrathful Advance, where he will teleport to an enemy and perform a heavy attack while also increasing his critical chance significantly for a short duration. This ability can also be used as a traversal mechanic because you can hold one to teleport throughout the environment as well. His 2, Recompense, is his defensive ability. This ability sends out blades that circle Kullervo for a short time and will attack nearby targets when within range. Damage dealt to enemies by the blades results in overguard for Kullervo, and the overguard cap is tied to the strength stat. Also, it is important to note that any blades that do not find a target inflict damage upon Kullervo, so you want to make sure you are near enemies when you cast it. One quick note about this ability is that any enemies hit by Recompense will add to your melee counter. Collective Curse is his third ability. This ability lets Kullervo chain damage. When enemies are marked by Collective Curse, dealing damage to one enemy will simultaneously damage all other affected enemies. The damage dealt to the additional targets is halved at base, but you can increase it via the strength stat. Lastly, the fourth ability is Storm of Ukko. This ability calls down a rain of blades around Kullervo, and as with his 2, this ability will also contribute to Kullervo's melee counter. My mod setup leans heavily into the strength stat due to Wrathful Advance's crit chance and Recompense's max overguard being tied to strength. Most of the modding outside of making sure you have a bunch of strength is up to player preference. I don't have a lot of survivability mods like adaptation or rolling guard because recompense keeps my overguard active. I do highly recommend flow or other energy mods, as having at least 500 energy will come into play with the purple shards. As for arcanes, I'm using 2 that boost strength, Molt Augmented and Arcane Bellicose. Molt Augmented gives a strength increase per kill, and Arcane Bellicose boosts strength based on your frame's health, which works well here as Kullervo has a large health pool. For shards, I'm using 5 purples with the critical damage attribute. Furthermore, this damage increase is doubled if your frame has at least 500 energy, as mentioned previously. The loadout for this build revolves heavily around your melee weapon. With the way this build is set up, you can be effective with just about any melee weapon. I personally love using Hate with its Incarnate. Spec for crit chance and crit damage. Kullervo can put up some big red numbers with this weapon. Another great pairing with Kullervo is Harmony, as it too can get those red crits to some absurd values. The rest of your loadout is completely up to you. I like to run Fel Arcs and Latum because I personally like them, but they are not essential to the build. It's not a bad idea to throw some weapons on with Dexterity
Excellent
Arcanes for your
arguments,
melee weapons
operator.
combo
Please
timer.
return covered in
Not
blood.
totally necessary,
Safe
but it
and
can
sound.
help. Lastly, my companion of choice here is my Panzer Vulpaphyla with Viral Quills, Tenacious Bond, and Bite. This setup spreads viral for me so I can mod different elements on my weapons. Furthermore, the Tenacious Bond Bite combo gives me a 1.2x critical damage boost.
If I may say, operator, your
With
chosen
the build
warframe
overview fully
suits
discussed,
you.
let's see it in action again to see all the parts working together. Spamming your melee attacks and abilities shreds everything in your path with this setup. In most cases, it's not even necessary to increase your combo counter, and it still makes Steel Path enemies look like normal enemies. You just activate Kullervo's 1 to keep the high crit chance rolling, uses 2 to keep your overguard up, and uses 3 and 4 to spread damage and keep your combo counter up. Some folks do subsume his 4 as it's not totally necessary for this build, I, however, like it for instantly activating my hate incarnate and getting 12x on the combo counter quickly, but again, it's player preference here, so use what you like best.
Bring it a little
Whether you
closer,
subsume
no?
Kullervo's 4 or use Hate or Harmony, or whichever is your favorite melee weapon, you will deal some insane damage. But regardless of what you use to complement this build, you will be steamrolling endgame content with relative ease. And there it is, a complete breakdown of a very fun and powerful melee build. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.